Alright, welcome to How to Break, Lesson 3, Volume 3. If you made it this far and you actually watched all the lessons beforehand, congratulations. We're now going to start learning power moves. Alright, you could kind of consider this an intro to power moves. Alright, so this move, if you were watching the other videos, if you learned everything on the other videos, you're going to get it right away. Remember how we were doing back rocks with our head on the ground, and without this one, you're going to have your head on the ground the whole time. 360 degrees, okay? The whole time your head is going to be on the ground. It's very, very important, and most of your ground power, all of your ground power is going to be with your head on the ground 100% of the time. Those people that you see them put their head up and down while they're doing like windmills or something like that, completely incorrect. Alright, so I'm going to teach you this whip, which I don't know where this comes from, but people in New York have been teaching and doing this since the beginning of time. Alright, so we start here, and we're here like this. Right, and your leg is gonna go back this way, right? So you go back, and then your other leg comes up, and then you do that tuck and that roll, like from the lesson, the volume before this, right? So instead of going like this, how we were doing, we're doing it with this whip, right? And it's a whip that's like, right? I'm not exaggerating, but that's kind of like what it is, right? You kind of whip back, right? So here we go. We whip back, and instead of tucking with our shoulders like this, we're actually gonna come down like this and then go on the side. All right? Slightly different variation, and that's gonna come later on the next volume when we start doing windmills, regular windmills, right? But for right now, we're gonna go from here, so down instead of here, but for after this, you do that same thing. You go to that shoulder like this, okay? So here we go. Boom, right on your back, right? So in the last volume, we talked about that kick from your back, right? This, and I said how important this was. This is very important with this move. Even more important than when you're doing windmills, because you really need this move. So, I want you to be on your back, on your upper back. See this space right here? That's how you come up from here, right? So you want to kick up with this, kick up with the right, and you come around and you catch yourself, right? So we're going to go, boom. Now, you want to, depending on what move you're doing, you want to catch yourself differently, okay? Right now, I want you to catch yourself right here, on your shoulders, on your elbows, on your arms, just like you do when we were doing those other moves, right? So remember this last move, how we were going like this? And then you go like this? It's almost the same thing, but it's a lot more power. You need to do a lot more power, okay? So you need to really work on that. That launch needs to be real strong, and the twist that comes after it needs to be real strong too, right? So you go, right? So from here, you go. And I want you to land like this with just the tip of your foot on the ground. So you land like this, okay? Like this, the tip of your foot. Just that, right there. All right? So here we go. Land on your toes. Here we go. Ready? Boom. See that? You see how as soon as I go up and I'm at my highest that my back is gonna take me, I make sure I twist real hard. You gotta twist real hard. Your waist and up here, right? So here we go, one more time. Watch. From here. And you see how I prepare, I go this way, and I throw it. See how right before I put my body this way. Because if you start here, you can only go from here to here. But if I start back here, that little bit is gonna help me go all the way around, right? So after you do that, and after you get comfortable with that, I want you to do that a couple times, do it over and over and over, and get real comfortable with it. Afterwards, it's the same thing as the move we were doing in the last volume, right? Before, we were going from here, right? We were going from here, and we were switching and we were going on our backs. It's the same thing now. All right? It's the same thing, except you're gonna miss that foot. You miss that toe, right? So, another thing that you will do is you will break down this arm thing. Instead of landing on 2, you're gonna do it more like, once you're doing a lot, you're gonna do it more like that first move that we were doing in the last lesson, where we were going 1, switch, 2. Except you'll feel it. It's like a combination of the 2. And you'll feel it once you do it, right? So here we go. So if I broke down that back rock, back swipes, tap mills, whatever you want to call it, you go boom, whack, boom, boom. You see that? It's almost the same. It's almost the same as back swipes. It's almost the same, right? You do that move. You do this move over and over. It's not quite the back swipe. It's a little bit more powerful if you notice. You're kind of going up a little harder. Your knee, it's not your knee, it's your toe. And that allows you to go a little faster. What happens eventually, you start missing the toe. And now you're doing back swipes. Now let's see if I can do this.